Hello to you all out there. Well, you may have came across with this controversial track that the Evergreen performed on the 23rd of March 2021 in the Red Sea prior transiting the Suez Canal, and eventually after this the blockage made a lot of vessels divert to an export, and of course we had large and big delays for many vessels which were waiting to transit the Suez Canal. A lot of speculations took place in regards to the hijacking of the vessel's navigation system. So is this possible? And if yes, let's go through. So let's go through what happens when a vessel calls port. At any call, the vessel is required to contact the port control, or VTS, Vessel Traffic System. So for this case, the Evergreen is required to call El Suez Port Control or Suez Port Control on VHF channel 14, and of course inform about the condition, if they are in good order, if all the equipment have been tested and the vessel is safe to transit the canal. So as I believe, yes, the vessel called, and what they have to do is to report that everything is working out all right on board, and if not, the captain should take actions to fix the problem and resolve it. Most probably he will go to an anchorage, and if they are alright, they can proceed with the passage inside of the Suez Canal. So what I believe they did that day is that they called at the area, they contacted the VTS, and the VTS instructed them not to proceed to anchorage for any reason, because they container vessels are the ones that go always ahead. They said to them, hold the position. So this is what usually happens. The bridge team, which consists of the captain, the officer on watch, the helmsman and the additional AB as a lookout. I'm not aware if in this company they will have placed them on bridge watch condition 2 or 3 when the vessel entered inside the Red Sea area, south of Egypt. And inside the TSS system they were performing watches. It can be the captain or it can be the chief officer. So I'm not aware about this. It could have been, or it may have been the captain that he came on the bridge on arrival. On many instances, captains get on the bridge on arrival. They will not be on the bridge in the TSS. This is most commonly happening in the cargo vessel industry. For our case, as LNG carriers, we perform watches. Also, I need to take the command when we are inside the TSS. So I will be on the bridge, or my alternative is the chief officer. He will be the one who will do the watch. We cannot forget our friends, the engineers. They are down in the engine room when we have a standby. So the standby could have been, as I said, in the TSS and the south part of Egypt where they entered in the Red Sea, or in the last minute. So what it means, the chief engineer or his alternative will be the second engineer, together with the engine officer on watch and an oiler, will be manning the engine room and will have the engines on standby mode in order to proceed to pilotage. When we have the engines in standby mode, it means that the engines are standing by, are ready for immediate use. This is at full till stop, which means you've got from 45 RPM to 0. So this is the maneuvering zone that the vessel can accommodate the telegraph needs very fast, and you can perform maneuvers very fast. So the engine for surely was at this point that we see on this controversial track on standby mode, because we have a very, very slow speed, and of course you can see that the ship is maintaining rounds around the area, and of course is avoiding collisions with other ships. So let's come now to the big question. Was the vessel hijacked? Yes, it could have been hijacked, but in this instance the vessel systems were not in automatic mode. So there is a technique called spoofing, and it has been used and is common also in the Suez. It has happened, and in 2019 there are incidents stating that things have happened around the area. So here on my computer, GPS spoofing. The attack tries to deceive a GPS receiver by broadcasting fake GPS signals, which resemble normal signals, or by broadcasting genuine signals captured elsewhere or at a different time. This act causes the receiver to believe its position to be somewhere else than where it is, or to be located where it is but at a different time as determined by the attacker. Interesting. But in this instance, no, it was not done. In 2019, there were, of course, in the Suez Canal incidents. It says here that the US Maritime Administration, US MARAD, alerted the shipping industry that they received reports about GPS interference incidents in the eastern, central Mediterranean Sea and Suez Canal, resulting to lost GPS signals that seriously affected the vessel's navigation and operations. The alert was about GPS interference reported between Libya and Malta, specifically in areas offshore of Libya and to the east and the northwest of Malta. Also, in the eastern Mediterranean, these reports were concentrated near portside Egypt, the Suez Canal, and the vicinity of the Republic of Cyprus. Instances of similar interference were also reported between Hadera, Israel, and Beirut, Lebanon. So yes, attacking can take place, and it's called spoofing. So now you know. In my belief, as I said, the vessel was not spoofed. As I understand, the vessel, a megaship, was requested to maintain a rendezvous position in order for the pilot to embark. In these positions, you may face large number of fishing vessels. These fishing vessels don't have an AIS system, Automatic Identification System. They may not be required to have one, so you will not see them inside in any vessel tracker or a vessel finder online. And of course, the charts that you are looking on, you cannot see the real dangers which exist on the water, on the surface of the water, of course, and of course the seabed. You don't know if there's a reef very close or any shallow waters. So imagine the bridge team now trying to navigate the vessel in fishing groups or inside a dangerous area. So it is very important to think before we say that the bridge team didn't do a good work. In my opinion, they did a good work. Yes, the issue happened, but eventually has resolved after 5 days, after 6 days, and eventually the global shipping industry is back online and is working perfectly all right. Of course, there were many delays and diversions of ships due to the fact that the Suez Canal remained closed. Somebody will have to pay for that. Yes, that's the industry. So at the end, something that I forgot to mention is that the vessel arrived at the rendezvous position, and you have to take into account the weather conditions and of course the sea conditions. So if you've got a strong south wind, the vessel is going to drift to the north. That day, the wind was a northern direction wind coming from the south. So your vessel will drift to the north. And also, as you may see, the bows of the anchored vessels, as you may see on the video, are pointing to the south, which means, of course, that the wind was coming from the south, and of course, the current is also coming from the south. As you may see on the other vessel speeds, there are vessels that are stopping their engines and they're drifting to the north with a speed of 1.1 knots. So could be that the current was at 1.1 knots or less. So in my belief, the bridge team worked okay. They may have conducted pre-arrival tests, which are commonly adopted worldwide, which required 12 hours prior arrival to conduct the pre-arrival tests, which are engine telegraph to be tested ahead and astern, the rudder testing, emergency testing. Additionally, something you may not know is you need to test the emergency generator. Yes, because in case of a blackout, the emergency generator is the one that will provide you electricity in order to bring the system back in operation. So my suggestion, as I said on my previous video, is to have 2 tugboats made on the stern in order to hold you up if you require to be pulled back, or reduce speed, or of course can assist you on steering. So this is adopted in other canals. One of those is the Panama Canal, also a vital importance canal, and they are doing the same procedure as I explained just now, having 2 tugboats on the stern. So thank God the issue was resolved, and everybody now is proceeding to the ports as far as possible on time, and eventually the crew members will, who were stranded there waiting for the transit, will be repatriated as soon as possible. I hope you liked today's short explanation video in regards to the Ever Given. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Nick the Sailorman, comment below, and of course thumbs up. Stay tuned for my future videos. Bye bye.